Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Today we are starting a vlog. I have not reached my goal on Goodreads yet for this year. I set myself up to read 100 books this year, thinking that I would fly through it because last year I read like 115 books, you know. But this year my reading hasn't been all that great. So yeah, I am 6 books away from reaching my reading goal. I'm in the middle of reading 2 books right now. One of the books, let me pull it up. One of the books is a debut novel, and it's called A Flicker in the Dark. I can't remember who it's by. I can't remember at the moment, but hold on, I'm pulling it up right now. So it's called A Flicker in the Dark, and it's by Stacey Willingham. And I'll put the little, move this over. I'll put a little picture up. But I'm 50% into that book, and it is about a girl whose dad was a serial killer and he killed girls that were around her age. She was 12 at the time when her dad got caught, and he was killing girls like a little bit older than she was. So I'm in the middle of that, and she is now a psychologist. She went into psychology because she wanted to help people that like her. So I'm reading that. It's very intense. Very intense. And there's like 3 people right now that I think that are the killers, because there's a copycat running around literally copying everything that her dad did, and she's trying to figure it out. So, and it's the 20-year anniversary to her dad's murders. So in the middle of that, like I said, there's 3 people that I'm like, you're it, and then another one pops up and I'm like, no, you're it, and then another one pops up and I'm like, ah, okay. But I think I know who it is. I think I know. Okay. Then the other book that I am reading right now, I'm 40% in. It's called The Teaching by T.O. Payne, and this is also a debut novel. I got both these off of Goodreads. No, I got both of these off of NetGalley. So I'm in the middle of reading those. So I'm trying to reach my goal by the end of December. It is December 23rd right now. Hold on. It's December 20. Can you see that? You can't really see that, but it's December 23rd, and it's at 12:34. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's just meant to be, y'all. It's just meant to. I don't really know what I'm talking about right now, but that's what this video is going to be. It's just going to be a random video of me trying to reach my Goodreads goal by the end of 2021, which is 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 30. Is that right? 7 days away? 8 days away? 6 days away? I don't know math, y'all. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 days. So I have to read 6 books in 8 days to reach my goal. Can I do it? Do you think I can do it? We shall see. I didn't even tell you about the other book that I'm reading, the teaching book. It's about a girl who's growing up in a cult, and a girl goes missing and they're trying to find the girl. That's all I really know right now. It's really freaking weird. The author, he actually grew up in a cult, so you can see his influence through the book so far. It's really cool, but it's just really weird. It's really weird. I have no idea what's going to happen. No idea what's going to happen in this book. But it's interesting, so I like to learn about cults. You know. Oh my gosh. So I also have, I'm sorry, I'm late on. So I also have this book that's on my NetGalley shelf, and it's called Dead Woman's Pond. So I plan on wrapping some presents later and listening to that book too. Sounds really good. It's supposed to be like a thriller, suspense, paranormal thing. I don't really know. Don't really know what it's classified as. This is a terrible angle. Terrible angle. But I don't really know what it's classified as. But reading that too. We're gonna hit my goal. Hello. So I am here and I'm about to wrap some presents, listen to an audiobook. And the audiobook that I am going to be listening to is, my dog's trying to get in. So the audiobook I'm going to be listening to is called Dead Woman's Pond by L.E. Eyre.
Nearly Departed, Book 1 by L.E. Eyre.
L.E. Eyre. And it's supposed to be a thriller. Oh, no, never mind. It's supposed to be like a suspense romance book. So I'm going to be listening to that while I wrap presents since I'm trying to reach my Goodreads goal.
Ah!
Hello.
These barely fit.
Do they?
I had to shove them down.
Huh.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna try to lift these.
Don't cuss.
That's not that bad.
Is it not?
It's not that bad. Why can't I cuss?
Because I'm...
It can be edited out.
No, don't cuss. Love you. Bye.
Love you!
This is rude. Oh, I need scissors. I forgot those. Thanks.
Okay.
Love you.
I'll throw them to you.
No, please don't. But yeah, I'm gonna be listening to that while I wrap presents. Hey everyone, happy Christmas Eve. Today is December 24th and I just finished the second book that I was reading in the past 2 days. And so the first book that I read was A Flicker in the Dark, and I told you about both of these books. Was it A Flicker in the Dark? Yeah, A Flicker in the Dark. So I ended up giving this book 5 stars because it was freaking fabulous. I loved A Flicker in the Dark. It is so good. I've seen like mixed reviews on it, but I freaking enjoyed it. I loved this book. It was so good. If you haven't picked it up, I highly suggest it, especially if you like serial killer thrillers. Chloe's dad was a serial killer when she was younger, and as she's gotten older, of course the story has followed her. She became a psychologist to help people that have like been through trauma like she has when she was younger. And there's so many twists and turns. There are 3 people, like there's a copycat killer going around, and it's like it's the 20-year anniversary for her dad's killings. There's a copycat person going around that's killing young girls again and doing it in the exact same way that her dad did 20 years before. So she is trying to figure all that out because they are happening close to her again. So she knows that it's somebody who, somebody who was around and that knows every little detail because they have the same trademark as her dad, which was taking things from his victims. My camera's about to die, so I have to hurry up. But so she's trying to figure that out, and there are 3 people in the story that could be the killer because they keep having mysterious things happen, and there's like clues popping up all over the place, and she's trying to figure out who it is, and it's just twisty and turny until the very end. If you haven't read this book, pick it up. If you are a book of the month person, this book is on book of the month, so you could pick it for your book of the month if you wanted to, or an add-on or something like that. And yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I highly suggest this book, especially if you like serial killer thrillers. The next one is The Teach. I ended up giving it this 3.5 out of 5 stars. This is a debut novel as well, and this is about a cult called The Haven. And these people in this cult are, of course, very religious, and there's this medium called Terry who he can engulf. I don't really know how you would explain a medium letting a spirit take over their body, but the spirit's name is Sebastian. He's the one that talks to the people and guides the people. And there is a girl that came to the cult. She was 15 years old, and she's come up missing. So there are characters in this book that are trying to find her because she's not originally a part of the cult. They just kind of brought her in, and her name is Samantha. So there's a mystery behind that. Then we have a girl named Rain who has grown up in the cult all of her life, so that's all she knows. We also have a guy named Daniel who is married to the cult's leader, or the cult's leader's daughter. Her name is Monica. She is a hateful woman. But it's just really interesting learning about cult living. I've always been interested in cults and why people like to join cults. And you can see the lifestyle in this. And T.O. Pline is actually from a cult. Like, he lived in a cult when he was younger. And then him and his wife actually went back to the same cult that he was from. So he's trying to teach people about cult life and teach people that it's not all bad. And that was in his afterward, or his like little author's note at the very end. I just thought that it was interesting. It was kind of slow at points, which is why I dropped half of a star from 4. It was written pretty well. I enjoyed the commentary and everything, and like I said, I enjoyed learning about the cult itself. But yeah, so if you're interested in that, pick it up. It's got a lot of twists and turns to it too, but I just enjoyed A Flicker in the Dark a little bit more. And now I'm reading the 3rd book in the Penny Wright series. It's called Demon House. It's about a serial killer's ghost, and Penny Wright is the medium that goes around and tries to like move ghosts on. And it's, like I said, this is the 3rd book in a series. These books can be read on their own if you want to, but I really enjoyed the first 2 books. And it was on Book Sirens. If you don't know, I'm a member of Book Sirens too, NetGalley and Book Sirens. But so I'm reading that book right now, and I'm really excited. And like I said, it is Christmas Eve. My parents are coming over later so we can play some games and stuff. And then of course tomorrow is Christmas. So maybe I'll finish this book by tomorrow so I can update you. I am 4 books away. 4 books. Send up a sign, send up a prayer. Keep me in your thoughts while I'm trying to reach my Goodreads goal of the year, which is 100 books. And I'm at 96 right now, so 4 away. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. everyone. So I am going to read for a little bit before my family gets up. It's about 7:23, and yeah, so I'm gonna take the time to read before they decide that they're going to get up. We already got the Christmas tree lit in the fireplace lit. I get over here in my little corner and read a little bit. But yes, Merry Christmas. Reading Demon House by A.N. Willis. I believe that's her name. This is awful. I'm not very good with names. A big spot right there. My face is breaking out, y'all. It's driving me nuts. Yes, A.N. Willis. And this is about Penny Wright. So this is the third series in the Penny Wright. If I can talk. It's very early. This is the third book in the Penny Wright series, and Penny is a medium, so she can talk to spirits and she helps spirits move on and stuff like that. And in this book she's joined an agency full of, they're called parasensitives, and they are visiting a serial killer's house. His name was Edmund Delmer, and suspicious things have been happening at this house ever since this dude died, and they're going to investigate the house because someone got hurt in the actual house itself, and they're going to investigate it. So that's where I'm at. I'm only 20% in. I started it yesterday, but yeah, so that's where we're at. And I don't have any more updates. You probably won't see me until the end of the day today because I don't plan on filming a lot. If you haven't noticed, I don't put my family on here that much because they don't want to be on here. Plus, I have a 3-year-old and I don't want to put him on the internet. And yeah, so probably won't check in with you until a little bit later today after all the festivities are over, you know. But I hope you have a very Merry Christmas, and I'll see you in the next clip. Hey everyone, welcome back. I am here for a check-in on this video. I didn't check in with you yesterday. Today's the 27th. Yeah, today's the 27th. Yesterday we went and saw my husband's family, and it was a long day and I didn't feel like updating. But today I'm here to update you on 2 books that I've read so far. So the first one I got done finishing was the Demon House one that I already put that down. It's the Demon House one that I already told you about, which is by A.N. Willis, and this is the 3rd book in the Penny Wright series. And I'm giving this book 5 stars. It was fabulous. Like, it was so fast paced. There was a lot of action. Like, from the very beginning to the end, it was nothing but action packed, and I freaking loved it. Like, it was so good. And you saw a lot of different characters because Penny is now in a group of paranormal experts that go around and they just like help spirits move on and cleanse places and stuff like that. So it was really good, really good. If you haven't read this series, I'd highly suggest you reading it. I'll put all of the books up on the screen right now, but it is so good. Like, this is one of those series that's really underrated, and I wish everybody would be able to read. Like, especially if you were a paranormal lover, I think you would really like this series. But 5 stars, boom, in the top 15 favorite books of the year. Guarantee you, it's going to be in that. Then, I've had this book on my radar for a long time. It's The Stranger by Albert Camus. I ended up giving this book 2 stars. I didn't like it at all. I can appreciate this book for what it is. Halfway throughout it, I had to kind of like switch my brain and go to more of a literary based analysis like thought, because I can see why people will think this is a masterpiece, but for my enjoyment, I did not like it. But with that being said, I can say that if I would have read this book in my studies, like in my English studies, not the education part, but the English part of it, and I had to read this book and I'd have to either write like a thesis or dissertation or some sort of paper on it, there's a lot of different things that you can talk about in this book. Like, one's like mental health, there's grief, it's set in France. What's it called? Manjaro, I believe. Manjaro, France, something like that. Yes, it's Manjaro, and it's France. My geography people out there, if I got that wrong, let me know. But it's set there, and they have a different way of burying people, because our narrator, I need to throw that away, keep messing with that, but our narrator's mom has died, and he is going through those stages of grief, and people think that he's weird because he doesn't really show like a lot of emotion, and he didn't really show emotion when his mom died. He didn't even really want to see her, like, when the funeral was going on and all that kind of stuff. He didn't really, wouldn't say that he didn't care, but he just didn't show like any kind of not remorse, he didn't kill her, but he didn't show any kind of like sadness that you would feel when someone dies, especially your mom. But you kind of understand why as the book goes on. But I think that this book would be a fascinating piece of literature to dissect and do a deep dive of, and researching more things about this book and the time period and just the way people's mental state was during the time period, because you can tell this book was written in the 1940s. So if you don't know anything about the 1940s, it wasn't that great of a time period to live in, especially in France at that time period. But it was a fascinating read when I had to switch my brain from the enjoyment factor to like a study analytical based mindset. I still ended up giving this book 2 stars because like I said, didn't enjoy it. I didn't. If I'm gonna read something like this at this time for when I don't have to study anything, I don't want to read something like this, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I hope it makes sense, because right now in my life, I'm reading for enjoyment. I'm not reading for study-based things. But if I had to, I think this book would be a fascinating piece, especially if it was like, I wish I would have taken a French literature class. I took a British literature class, but I wish I would have taken like a French literature class, and I think that this book would have probably popped up, and I probably would have enjoyed studying it. But just for like an enjoyment purpose, I really don't read a lot of literary fiction, and this is what this was. And I usually don't enjoy literary fiction. The only book that I've enjoyed that was a literary fiction was The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. But everybody that reads that book really enjoys it. So, but yeah, so that is the book that I read. I have 2 more books to go to reach my Goodreads goal of the year. Do you think I can do it? Because today is the 27th, so I have 4 days left to read. I think I'm going to read some romance. I have on my Kindle right now pulled up, and this is the book that I'm going to start reading. It's called Neanderthal Seeks Human, if I can read, by Penny. Who's this by? By Penny Reid, I believe. I don't believe I've ever read from her before. I know that she has a lot of contemporary romance, and I'm kind of feeling a contemporary romance right now, so I'm going to start reading this. 2 more books, 4 more days to go. Yes, I think I can do it. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. It's the mindset that I'm in right now, y'all. Hey! So I am here with another check-in for this video. If you can hear my stomach growling, I'm sorry. It's been one of those days. Anyways, it is December 28th, and I just finished Neanderthal Seeks Human by Penny Reid, and I ended up giving it 4.5 out of 5 stars. This is a really cute book. It is a contemporary romance. that's set in, like, it's an office romance, and our main character Janie is very weird. She's quirky. She's very lovable, but she has this like tendency to just like word vomit random facts in situations where she feels uncomfortable, and she's just full of weird information. And then we have Quinn, who is the complete opposite. He's very brooding, he's cautious, he's very standoffish of people, he doesn't trust people, he runs his own business, and it's like a security business. But they make a really cute couple, like opposites attract type of thing. The only thing that I didn't like about this book was that Quinn was very controlling at times, but that stems from like his previous self, I guess you could say, with seedy characters and people he was around and all that kind of stuff. But I think that they make a really cute couple. It was a really funny book. I found myself like laughing out loud during it, and it was really funny. I like this book. I'm definitely going to continue with the series. This series is called Knitting in the City. And the next book is about Janie's best friend Elizabeth, which I really liked her. That was another thing I really liked about this book. Janie has, like, she's in this knitting group, and the women that she's around, they're super funny. They're very supportive. They're just like a good group of women that you would like to have in your life. And yeah, it was really funny. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Now I am going to set up my new planner that I bought. This was on a whim. I try to have a planner every year. Not that I keep up with it, but this year I really want to try to keep up with it because I really want to stay on top of my goals for this year. I'm not going to share those with you because last year I shared them with you and they did not come true. So this year I'm going to do secret goals. I'm just going to set them for myself. But I found this really pretty planner at Target. I don't know, it has stickers in it. Do you want to see a tour of my planner? I see these online all the time, and I like to see them. But I liked this one because it had like the full year for this coming up year for 2020. It had a full year for 2023, and it has like the dates and stuff, holidays, and then it has a wish list, which I don't know if I fill out. And then it has this page. I don't know if you can really see it, but it has this page. And on this, it's for each of the different months. There's like tabs for the months, but on this page right here, it says personal goals, important dates, health goals, work goals, financial goals, and then etc. So I figured that this would help me, like this section would help me really set out my month, especially for keeping up with work stuff and also keeping up with YouTube stuff and trying to really stay on top of YouTube this year, because this past year I kind of failed at it a little bit. But then it also has a page for the week, like the same thing for the whole month. It has that page for the week. It also has the different dates, and you can just write in what you need to. So I liked this setup a lot better than the typical planners that you would find. I liked them a lot. And then it's just kind of like the same thing for each month. But yeah, so I'm gonna sit up here and listen to Dead Woman's Pond, since I haven't listened to that in a couple days, and I'm gonna try to finish that, and then we'll see if I can reach my Goodreads goal, because I only have one book to reach it. I'm super excited. Do you think I can do it? I think I can do it, because it's only 28. I have 3 days left, so we'll see. So I found these really cool pens. They're erasable pens. I don't know if they actually work or not, because I've never heard of them before. I found them at Target too. I think these are going to be my planner pens, you know? Does anyone else do that? Let's see if they actually work. Take the green one. They're supposed to be erasable. Ooh, I like the tip on them. Y'all. Make a bigger one. See the big old circle? Circle right there. Look, it erased it. What? That's cool. Okay, I like these pens. For the win. Yay! And they're fine tip pens too, so okay, cool. Yeah. So I'm here to check in with you about, did I meet my reading goal for 2021? And I can now say that I surpassed my reading goal. Woohoo! I ended up reading 101 books this year. My goal was to read 100 books. So celebrate. Blah, 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 blah. We're celebrating. So I'll celebrate. Okay, so yeah, I ended up reading 101 books. I am super excited. I know that this like whole thing was ridiculous, because it doesn't matter how many books you read, it just matters if you are reading and you're enjoying what you're reading. But I always set a goal for myself every year, and I am awful awful with keeping my goals, and this is one goal that I know that I can keep every year. So it just makes me very proud when I can reach that goal, you know? So let's talk here. Let me get a drink. I have a meeting in 25 minutes, so we're going to speed this up a little bit. But I read The Collective by Allison Galen. Ended up giving this 4 stars. I thought that this was a very fast-paced book. It was interesting. This is a book about a woman named Camille who has lost her daughter, and she lost her daughter because of another person, and the other person was never charged for crimes. They went to court and all that kind of stuff, but he was never charged because he was a teenager, she was a teenager. It was considered consensual sex, but the daughter claimed that it was not consensual, and the boy came from a very prestigious background. Parents had a lot of money, they were able to hire good lawyers, you know the whole drill. And he was acquitted of all charges, and she's not happy about that. And 5 years later, she sees that he has grown and he starts to win these rewards in college, and he won a humanitarian award, which just kind of set Camille off. But she finds this group of women called The Collective, and they do things to make sure that people get justice for people murdering their children or killing their children, and those people not being charged for those charges, so they take it into their own hands. And that's what this book is about. That's what I'm going to say. It was, like I said, very fast paced. It had a lot of twists and turns to it. I wouldn't say that this is like the best thriller that I've ever read, because I've read some stuff like this already, but if you are looking for a book about justice and about a group of very I wouldn't call them talented, but cunning women who want to make sure that people pay for what they've done, I think you would like this book. I think you would. I mean, I thought it was pretty decent. So that's the one. That's the one book. That was my 100th book. 100th book for 2021. Woo-hoo. The next book that I read was the one that I got off of NetGalley. It was an audiobook. It's called Dead Woman's Pond by L.E. Eyre. Ended up giving this book 3 stars. I liked the supernatural, paranormal aspect to it. That was very interesting to me. I really like to see like different perspectives of what supernatural is to people, and L.E. Eyre had a very different way of thinking about the supernatural. And we're following Flynn and then her girlfriend Jen, and both of them have an ability. Jen is more of a true medium, and Flynn finds out that she has some supernatural powers going on, but they're a little bit different, but I'm not going to tell you about hers because that would spoil it. But there's this pond called, that's Dead Woman's Pond, because it always seems to kill women by them driving their cars into the pond and them not being able to get out. But they find out that it specifically targets a specific type of woman, and Flynn is one of those almost victims of the pond. And after that, the story just kind of goes wild from there. The only thing I didn't really like about this book, this is why I gave it 3 stars, is Flynn is a very aggressive person, and she's always trying to fight people. Even she's always trying to like pick an argument with Jen, and I didn't like that. Like, I didn't really like their relationship at all because of Flynn, and I didn't really like reading from Flynn's perspective. I wish it would have been from Jen's perspective. I liked her character a lot more than Flynn. I understood why Flynn was well, no, I don't understand why she was so like aggressive towards people, why she was so angry all the time. I don't really understand it at all. I don't get that part, but I didn't like that. I didn't really like her character whatsoever, so that's why I ended up giving it 3 stars. This is the first book in the series, but I don't think that I'll finish with the series. But if you're interested in some supernatural, paranormal things that is different, and it's about like an element, like a nature element, I think you should try this book out. I'll put the publishing date on the bottom of the screen. I can't remember. Most of these books that I read, besides The Collective, I don't even remember what I read for this video, honestly. Besides I know that The Collective's out, but a lot of these books haven't been published yet. Some of them are coming out in February, and some of them are coming out in January, I believe. But I'll put the publishing dates on the bottom of the screen. But yeah, so that is my update. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it wasn't too just like meh for you, but I really enjoyed this. And like I said, it's not about the amount of books that you read, it's about the books that you enjoyed. And I thoroughly think that I had a pretty good reading year. I looked at the stats of my reading year, and my overall rating for this year was about a 3.9, which is, I don't think it's pretty bad. I don't think that's too bad, but I had more 4-star books than anything this year. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I will see you on the next one. There's a lot of stuff coming up. I'm about to do another video. Bye, y'all.